Hello and welcome to Battle for Karnataka. I'm Harish Upadhyaya. Over the next 30 minutes, we bring you all the major stories related to Karnataka Assembly elections. Our top story today focuses on the game plan of the BJP and the Congress here in Karnataka. The BJP wants to encash on the charm of the Prime Minister, while the Congress believes that it has a better issue at hand if it focuses on local controversies and also the performance of Bommai government. We bring you a detailed report on the game plan of both the national parties from Karnataka.
The Karnataka Assembly polls are fast approaching, but political parties are struggling with ticket distribution. Meanwhile, the campaigning is going on in full swing. The BJP wants to carpet bomb Karnataka. 20 rallies of Prime Minister Narendra Modi are planned. But on the other side, the grand old party has decided to keep it local, whose game plan will really click with the voters. With graft allegations, infighting for tickets and high anti-incumbency against the ruling BJP in the state, the party senses that it is only Modi magic that can help them get back to power in the state. BJP's plan is to have at least 3 Modi rallies in each of the 6 regions the state has been divided into.
Modi is a tallest leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and people will love him. And in a gatherings you might have seen, people are overwhelmed when he enters, and people look him as a what we call Devata Manushya, so that they are very thrilled. So oftenly he is visiting Karnataka also.
While the BJP relies on the Modi factor, Karnataka Congress banks on the former Chief Minister and mass leader, Mr. Siddaramaiah. They believe the Saffron Party is rattled, and that's the reason why they are heavily relying on national leaders.
Is this an election for the parliament that the BJP is planning 20 rallies of Mr. Modi? This is about the performance of the state government. The performance is very clear, and in the minds of the people, in the hearts of the people, this is 40% commission government. There is no progress but loot of Kannadigas by the BJP government. Why is Mr. Modi and the BJP so desperate? They know that they have lost the game. That's why they're planning 20 rallies to turn it into not a Karnataka issue but a national issue. We will talk about national issues when the national election comes. We want them to talk on the local issues.
All 3 parties, BJP, Congress and JDS, are operating with a carefully planned machinery to cross the halfway mark on the 13th of May and are aggressively campaigning for it. But it remains to be seen which party's strategy will reap the fruit and click with the electorate. With Ritu in Bengaluru, Bureau Report for CNN News 18.
Will Modi charm work in Karnataka for the BJP, or can the Congress ensure that the election stays local? We'll debate this. We have an eminent panel joining us. We have Mr. Ganesh Karnik of the BJP, we have Mr. Nagaraj Yadav of the Congress, and we have Mr. B.S. Arun, senior journalist from Bengaluru, joining us. I'll come to you, Mr. B.S. Arun, first. On the surface of it, what do you think? Will the BJP's game plan work, or can the Congress manage to ensure that the campaign and the narrative continues to be around local issues, performance of Bommai government and other issues that we have seen over the last 3-4 years?
Yes, Harish, thank you. And first about Modi, the reports have been that over the last few months that Bommai government is on the back foot. They were facing a huge anti-incumbency factor, sort of a lackluster performance, as many said. Bommai government had been looking for for somebody to take the cudgels of the Congress. So Modi, as you mentioned, is the leader that the party looks for when the chips are down. So here is the Prime Minister making his 8th visit to Karnataka since January this year. And,
Yes.
there are reports that 20 rallies he will be addressing. This go to show that, the party desperately wants Mr. Modi to campaign in Karnataka so that the people, so that he sways the people, and the people vote for the party. Perhaps he has perhaps got the reports that not all is well for the party in Karnataka, and the reason why that was the reason why the party has planned so many rallies, 20 rallies, in the next say 6 weeks. So that's quite mammoth. I was reading a news report saying that Prime Minister had
Yes.
never visited one election going state for so many times, since 2014 when he came to power in Delhi. So all this go to show that the importance that the party gives to Mr. Modi. We all know that he has a,
Yes.
great connect with the people, that emotional connect that he has with the audience, and the enthusiasm that the audience show for him, the party workers show for him, the voters show for him. But the question here is, how well the Congress, combats this Modi blitzkrieg during these elections. This is an election that is being fought for the state assembly, and it's not a national election. Modi, most of the time during his last 6-7
Yes.
visits, has spoken more about the national programs and not about the state. He has not mentioned the state, not mentioned much. This goes to show that he may not be having that much of confidence in the performance of the state government. So now it is incumbent on the Congress, since you asked me about the Congress, incumbent on the Congress to highlight the failures of the Bommai government, if they have any, and ensure that people are convinced with this. The setbacks that the Bommai government faced, about the 40% government, the lack of good programs, all these things, Congress may try to highlight it. Keep this as a local election. Keep this as local issues, as against Modi highlighting national issues. Harish.
True. In fact, I'll go to Mr. Ganesh Karnik. Mr. Ganesh Karnik, the Prime Minister will be making his 8th visit to the state in this calendar year when he lands in Mysuru. 20 rallies over the next 4 to 5 weeks. Many would say that the state BJP unit is not confident enough that their local leadership can pull through.
Good afternoon, Mr. Harish, and greetings to my co-panelists. I heard in detail to Mr. Arun what he was trying to speak about. From the press point of view, from the media point of view, I appreciate his views, and whatever is possible, I take as inputs for me. Well, as he's rightly mentioned, Mr. Modi is the tallest leader in the country, nationally, internationally, very reputed person, and if party uses to create an kind of an aura around him just before election by conducting mega rallies, at all over the Karnataka, I don't think there is anything wrong in that, number one. Number two, it is not that the state leadership is sidelined or overlooked. We have conducted the Vijay Sankalp Yatra under the leadership of our prominent state leaders in 4 different groups, and that rally has gone around. Even this rally has attracted large number of people. Yes, we talk of double engine sarkar. That doesn't mean that we don't have to contribute towards the state's government. We have been going around and telling in 3.5, 4 years time that we got during this regime. The first 1.5 years was the COVID time. Subsequently, during the next 2.5 years, the achievements of Mr. Bommai's government in Karnataka, people may say anything, but I, as an individual, as a citizen, I say it is unparalleled. One simple example is the amount of money spent on infrastructure, capital expenditure, is unparalleled in the history of the government. The kind of social security schemes that he has introduced, that is also very well appreciated. And recently, after 30 long years,
But
Mr.
Karnik,
relook into this.
if you look at what national leaders or even BJP leaders are talking, they constantly refer to Prime Minister Modi government schemes, whether it's PM Kisan or the expressway built between Bengaluru and Mysuru. The reference is always to schemes of the national government. Hardly any mention of the government schemes of Bommai government. As you rightly mentioned now, not too many people are talking about it from the BJP.
Harish, you did not allow me to finish. Now, Congress has to have a strategy for the election. Can they talk about the achievements of my government? They will never talk. They are trying to quote the central government schemes to say that this government has not done anything. What I'm trying to say, because Mr. Harish was mentioning that Modi is going around talking about the achievements of the central government. But the Vijay Sankalp Yatra, where no central leaders came, but it was only the state leaders who went around in 4 groups, they have highlighted the achievements of the state government under the leadership of Bomaiji during the past 2.5 years. He got a very short span of time because of the COVID. And I'll tell you, for the first time, Karnataka's budget has crossed 3 lakh crore rupees. And the investment that the country has
Okay.
received, 38% goes to Karnataka. Our global investors meet was a grand success.
Okay.
This all happened in 2.5 years time.
Okay.
And to the credit
I'll have
of
to
the
bring in
BJP
Mr.
government-
Nagaraj Yadav of the Congress.
Yes.
Mr. Nagaraj Yadav, you look at any state election in the last few years, there is now a significant factor. It's called the Modi vote. Apart from the state leadership, what the state government would have done, it's Prime Minister Modi who brings in a huge chunk of votes and seats for the party in those respective states. And if the BJP wants to encash on it, why is the Congress rattled now?
See, Congress is not rattled. Congress is not worried if Modi is coming, or Amit Shah is coming, or the whole cabinet is coming. We are not worried about it. You please come. At least when the Prime Minister has come, some roads have been, potholes have been filled up, na? For that sake, we'll say, let him also come. But what we are trying to say, whether the Gram Panchayat election you want to bring Modi's name, whether it's Jilla Panchayat election you want to bring Modi's name, whether it's Parliament election you want to bring Modi's name, now local state, we Congress 100% believes in the constitution of the country and believes in democracy of the country. We also believe in a
But
federal
hasn't
system of
Congress
the
done this
country.
when Indira Gandhi was at her peak?
No, let me complete it, Mr. Harish. What I'm saying is we believe in a federal system of this country. When Indira Gandhi used to come, she used to speak the truth. Now we are asking you, number of times, 8th time Narendra Modi Sahib is coming, we welcome him. What is he supposed to do? He has to talk the truth to the people of Karnataka. Why is he not talking about 40% commission today? When Siddaramaiah government was there, he accused of, without having any complaint against the Congress government, he accused of 10% Sarkar. When the complaints are there in front of him, the complaints are made to the Home Minister of the country, the complaints are made to the Prime Minister of the office of the country. When Virupaksha has been arrested now, he is there in the custody of the Lokayukta. At given this point of a time, if he doesn't want to talk the speed, doesn't want to talk the truth, what is the necessity of he coming? We welcome the Prime Minister, respect the Prime Minister. We expect Kannadigas for persons to come here to speak the truth. What we are saying is 165 promises were made by Siddaramaiah government. Rahul Gandhi came and said that we'll ensure that these promises are fulfilled. We tried doing our best. 157 promises are fulfilled. Is the BJP government is having guts to tell that, saying that the state government has promised 600 promises? Have they filled up these promises? They are not talking about the corruption. They are not talking about the... no, let me complete it. Today, central leaders like Amit Shah is coming and putting fire into the KMF issue. KMF is the unit which is the biggest legacy of Karnataka. And today they want to bring Amal here. They want to do Rajniti and everything. They want to privatize everything. They want to sell everything of Karnataka. Today, Maharashtra government is interfering in the borders of Karnataka, trying to give the insurance scheme. Should we keep quiet? Should the Prime Minister should not come and facilitate the federal system of the country? These are the questions we are asking them.
I'll have to go to Mr. B.S. Arun. Mr. Arun, this seems to be the larger game plan of both the BJP and the Congress. But now, as people who are living in Karnataka, we are keen to know what happens to other issues now. What happens to the reservation issue? Because many are looking at how it pans out for both the parties. Will now Muslims, Kurubas, and perhaps even the SC right en masse vote for the BJP, beg your pardon, to the Congress? Or will now Vokaligas and Lingayats also, perhaps a huge chunk of that vote, will go to the BJP? What is your assessment, sir?
Harish, you know that the state government brought in a modified reservation policy about 20 days back. According to this, there were 3 major factors. One is the internal reservation for the scheduled castes. Number 2, 2% additional reservation for the Lingayats and the Vokaligas, and their category has been changed. And number 3, this 4% came from the Muslims. Category of Muslims has been changed. Well, the category that they were in has been scrapped, and they have been shifted to the EWS, economically weaker section, which has a 10%. Yes, 10%, and it's not specific, as you said. So they have to, fight for the reservation with the Brahmins and other communities, Modaliyars and others. So this is the situation. This is the policy that the Bommai government effected. So now, uh, as certain sections of the people, like the touchable faction of the scheduled castes, are on the warpath. They have been on an agitation mode in different parts of the country. We know that they threw stones at Yediyurappa's house in Shikaripura. Then the Muslims, took out march in different parts like Koppal, Raichur, as well as in Bangalore. And recently, so the Banjara community also held protests in Dharwad and Bombay, Karnataka areas.
Yes.
This goes to show that there is no unanimity among the different sections of people about the reservation issue. It is true that there are sections of people in different communities like the Lingayas who have welcomed, the Pancham Salis have welcomed, although another section of the Pancham Salis have opposed it. Like this, these different sections have taken it differently. Now, how well the party, that's the ruling party, will ensure that there are no two words about what people feel. How much they convince the Banjara and the other communities as well as the Muslims, I think is a big factor for Bommai and his colleagues as well as Mr. Yediyurappa. At the same time, what the Congress will do.
In fact, I want to go to Mr. Ganesh Karnik. Mr. Karnik, the Prime Minister might have 20 rallies here. He will obviously attract a huge interest and also perhaps votes as well. But many are asking how the BJP deal with these issues. These issues might look small, but could have a ripple effect in many constituencies that could hit BJP's overall tally. You look at Banjaras, they are still protesting. There was a huge protest outside B.S. Yediyurappa's house. How will you handle this issue? There's a fear within the BJP that the Kurubas, that the SC right and perhaps even Muslims will en masse vote for the Congress.
Harish, this reservation issue has been kept pending by successive governments for the past 30 long years. And BJP, keeping social justice in mind, has taken a very bold decision. Now the implications or repercussions of this decision has to be seen definitely. But I am very confident at the end of the day, people will understand the logic behind, the reasoning behind, the recently passed reservation, bill and forwarded to the central government under the 9th schedule will be approved. See, for example, this 4% reservation for minorities, Mr. Arun was talking. It was unconstitutional. Everybody knows about it. Because based on a religion, no reservation has been recommended in the constitution. But against the constitution, to favor somebody, to appease somebody, this was in vogue all these years. Now, our government has taken a very bold decision. We have not denied them anything. We have not taken out those few communities under the Muslim community from category 1 or whatever it is. But we have taken them to the EWS 10%. So they are getting a larger chunk, an opportunity to share their this in a larger chunk. One second, last one word I'll tell you.
I appreciate, Mr. Karnik, your point that you're saying you will have to see how this pans out.
Yes, what I was trying to say.
But I'll have to bring in Mr. Nagaraj Yadav here.
1 minute, Ganesh, wait. Whatever Mr. Ganesh, my dear friend, spoke is completely unscientific. The entire policy of the state government reservation bill was bought in the name of Sadashiva Ayoga report. It's completely unconstitutional because Sadashiva, CM himself said we have not gone on the report of Sadashiva Ayoga report. And the second part I'm telling you, the scheduled caste reservation and the scheduled tribe reservation was made in conjunction with all the political parties and parties.
Mr. Nagaraj Yadav,
now they're making
the question that many have is, if indeed the Congress is against this reworked reservation metrics, why is it that only DK Shivakumar says we will roll back this reservation? We haven't seen other leaders of the Congress coming out and saying, yes, we will scrap this reworked metrics and also bring in a new reservation metrics once they come to power.
1 minute. We will bring a reservation which is constitutionally correct. As per the population rate, we will definitely give the reservation. Today, 4% reservation of minorities will removed is completely unconstitutional. It was not given on the basis of religion at all. We all very well know, Sachar committee report also knows very well.
Okay, Mr. Nagaraj Yadav, we are absolutely out of time on this debate. Thank you, Mr. Ganesh Karnik, Mr. Nagaraj Yadav and Mr. B.S. Arun for joining us. But one thing is very clear, irrespective of what the BJP and the Congress wants the narrative to be, people perhaps will also think of other issues like reservation, corruption, infrastructure issues, and we'll have to see who manages to ensure that their narrative wins. Well, time for a quick break now. On the other side, we'll get you all the other major stories from poll-bound state of Karnataka.